They say we humans adapt to anything. Like roaches in a fallout zone, Corporal Hayes grunted, staring down at the row of curious alien eyes in the medbay. Guess now I'm proof. Beeps of medical scanners and hushed alien whispers filled the room. Hayes, a stocky, middle-aged soldier from Earth, pulled his shirt back over his wound. A small red puncture surrounded by faint swelling. Commander Rex, his commanding officer from the Aryan Confederation, looked at the wound. Just minutes ago, a native Zoran snake had bitten Hayes, and by all calculations, he should be on the floor, lifeless. Yet Hayes was still standing, tapping his boot impatiently. "You're not dead?" Commander Rex asked, his spiked brow furrowing. "Nah, just a bit tingly," Hayes grinned, shrugging off the tension. "Feels like a mild hangover, to be honest. Nothing a quick patch-up can't fix." "Got a bandage?" The medbay staff exchanged uneasy glances. Dr. Fawn, the head of the alien medical team, approached cautiously, his blue skin darkening as he scanned the wound. Zoran venom, known for its rapid systemic paralysis, was universally feared for its swift lethality. This human, however, looked more annoyed than concerned. "Corporal Hayes, that venom is designed to disintegrate muscle tissue within minutes. You should be incapacitated, if not worse," Dr. Fawn stammered, studying Hayes with morbid fascination. Hayes waved it off, chuckling. "Doctor, back on Earth, we've got critters that make Zoran venom look like flavored water. Scorpions, snakes, jellyfish that'll make your nerves dance the tango. Think a sting like this is going to lay me out?" The alien officers exchanged glances. Curious murmurs spread throughout the medbay as alien medics huddled around monitors showing Hayes' vitals. To their astonishment, the venom in Hayes' bloodstream was breaking down, not through any antidote, but by his own immune system. Curious, Firen ordered a full blood scan to confirm the anomaly. "Corporal Hayes," Rex began, trying to mask his amazement, "your body is neutralizing the venom. We've never seen this kind of response." "Neutralizing?" Hayes raised an eyebrow as the medics fumbled over his blood samples. "Look, I'm no doctor, but Earth's kind of like a gauntlet for anyone who grows up there. Snakes, poison ivy, bees. Maybe my blood's just tough." Rex studied Hayes, a spark of admiration flashing in his eyes. "And this adaptability, does it apply to all humans?" "Depends. Back home, we got folks who can wrestle a crocodile, some who pass out at a spider. I might be lucky, or maybe Earth's wild enough that our bodies just get used to shrugging off nastiness." He scratched his chin thoughtfully, or, maybe it's all the coffee. At this, several of the medics blinked, trying to make sense of the word coffee as it translated in their headsets. Dr. Firen turned to his team, issuing orders in a language full of clicks and whistles, directing them to study the venom's breakdown in Hayes' blood. "You don't mind if we run more tests, Corporal Hayes?" Fawn asked, his eyes gleaming with a mix of professional curiosity and awe. "Long as you don't skimp on the snacks," Hayes grinned. "You got those premium rations?" "Yeah, I'm talking the real gourmet stuff," Hayes smirked. Rex nodded. "We'll make sure you're well supplied, Corporal. I think you've earned it." As Hayes kicked back in the examination chair, munching on an alien ration bar that tasted faintly of charcoal and lime, the medics hovered over their monitors. Unbeknownst to him, the venom still lingered in his blood, its molecular structure subtly altered as though interacting with his immune cells on a genetic level. Rex leaned closer to Fawn. "What are you seeing, Doctor?" Fawn adjusted his goggles, leaning forward with intense focus. "It's as if his immune system isn't just breaking down the venom. It's adapting. Some remnants of the venom remain, almost merging with his cells. This reaction, it's something we haven't seen before." Hayes, overhearing, raised an eyebrow. "So my blood's not only beating up the venom, it's keeping souvenirs?" Fawn nodded, perplexed yet intrigued. "Yes, Corporal, you may be developing an immunity, or perhaps something else entirely." "Neat," Hayes shrugged, taking another bite. The alien medics watched him with a mixture of admiration and unease. Rex's face hardened, his mind racing through the implications. Humanity, with their strange immune responses and quick adaptability, was proving to be more than he'd anticipated. Hayes, he was the strangest of them all. Tell me, Corporal, Rex began cautiously, if this adaptability of yours can be harnessed, would it be something you'd share with our people? Perhaps for future deployments or defensive measures? Hayes looked at him, mouth full, eyebrows raised. Look, I can't make any promises, Commander. My blood's a mystery even to me. But hey, if it keeps us alive out there, I'm all for it, he chewed thoughtfully, though it's not exactly a one-size-fits-all trick, you know? Some of you guys might get weird side effects. Rex nodded, contemplating. Humans as allies could be invaluable. As enemies, they'd be a nightmare. Dr. Fawn looked up from the readings. For now, let's observe, see if there are any more changes. Corporal, you'll need to report any unusual symptoms. This process could be unpredictable. Hayes smirked. Doc, my life's been unpredictable since I stepped foot on this ship. Let's see where this ride takes us. With a final chuckle, he gave the medbay a lazy salute and sauntered out, leaving a room full of astonished aliens pondering the peculiar resilience of humanity. If humans are one thing, we're stubborn, Hayes said to no one in particular, pacing back and forth in the medbay. You think we just give up if something bites back? He glanced around, noting the alien scientists busy with his blood samples, clearly uncomfortable with his body's peculiar response to the venom. Dr. Fawn, standing at the main terminal, exchanged worried glances with Commander Rex, who looked more intrigued than alarmed. They'd already poked him with all sorts of scanners, ran enough blood tests to drain a weaker man dry, and fed him enough questions to fill a textbook. Commander Rex finally spoke up. Corporal Hayes, the venom in your system, it hasn't fully disappeared. It's evolving. Hayes rolled his eyes, looking at the overhead lights with a mixture of amusement and exasperation. Doc, you say evolving like I'm some kind of robot. This is just plain old Earth biology in action. Dr. Fawn leaned closer. But, Corporal, the venom is doing more than just lingering in your system. It's interacting with your cells, creating new pathways within your immune system. I've never encountered anything like it. Hayes shrugged, even as a strange warmth tingled along his spine. Let me guess. Alien tech can't keep up with Earth's weird quirks, right? He smirked. Rex glanced between Dr. Fawn and Hayes. Have you experienced any changes? Anything unusual? Other than finding out I'm now some kind of alien science project? Hayes joked, but then he scratched the back of his neck. Actually, now that you mention it, I've been feeling extra charged lately. Probably nothing, though. Dr. Fawn's expression grew serious. We need to keep a closer eye on you, Corporal. If your body is converting the venom into an energy source, this could mean... Wait, Hayes cut in with a laugh. You're saying I'm turning into some kind of portable battery? What's next? I start powering up the base. Rex's lips twitched with a half-smile. That's a possibility, Corporal. But maybe even more. Just then, the door slid open with a hiss, revealing a tall, gaunt figure. A Zoran officer with sharp eyes and angular features. He studied Hayes with a look of cold curiosity. So, this is the human who survived the bite of our deadliest creature, he murmured, his voice low and cutting through the air like a knife. Hayes, the corporal replied, staring back without flinching. Yeah, I got bitten, and I'm still standing. The Zoran officer's expression shifted, a flicker of interest crossing his face. The Confederation is intrigued by your resilience, Corporal Hayes. This adaptability could prove beneficial to our alliance. Have you considered what this means for us? Alliance? Hayes arched a brow, glancing at Rex. Look, I'll share a tip or two, but I'm not signing up to be anyone's test subject. My body, my rules. The Zoran's lips twisted into a thin smile. Of course, but your endurance speaks to the hidden potential within your species. A potential that could be unpredictable. Hayes grinned back. Yeah, humans have a knack for surprises. Just make sure you don't end up caught off guard by one. Rex cleared his throat, breaking the tension in the room. Hayes, we're not talking about anything invasive. Just some observational studies with Dr. Fawn's team, if you're up for it. Hayes considered it for a moment. All right, as long as I get first pick of the rations. I've got a taste for the spicy stuff, Dr. Fawn nodded enthusiastically and turned to the monitor displaying Hayes' immune response. His eyes widened. "Corporal, you should see this. Your energy levels and heart rate are spiking, almost like the venom is enhancing your system." Hayes frowned at the display. His vitals showed a noticeable uptick, faster blood flow, rapid cell repair. He felt sharp, like his body was working in overdrive. "So, the venom isn't just sticking around. It's kicking me into high gear," Hayes mused. The Zoran officer's eyes narrowed with caution. "It's impressive, Corporal, but I advise restraint. Zoran venom's effects are volatile, even for those who show resistance." Hayes gave a playful salute. "Noted, but I think I can handle a little extra juice." That night, however, lying in his quarters, he couldn't shake an uneasy feeling. His heart thudded with an almost unnatural beat, every pulse sending a jolt of energy through his system. Sleep was impossible. His whole body felt alert, every cell buzzing as if waiting for action. Maybe the Zoran officer had a point. Perhaps this venom came with side effects his body wasn't ready for. The next morning, Rex and Dr. Fawn met Hayes in the training bay, where he was tearing through simulation drills with relentless energy. Fawn, clutching his tablet, reviewed Hayes' vitals, his expression equal parts fascination and concern. "Corporal, you're performing at nearly twice the efficiency of any human standard. This endurance, it's unnatural." Hayes shrugged, breathing heavily as he set down the weights. "Feels like a double shot of espresso." "Document, don't tell me you're scared of a little power boost." Commander Rex didn't seem as relaxed. "Hayes, this could be dangerous. If the venom's effects continue to escalate, we might not be able to reverse them. Your body's adapting now, but it could come at a cost." Hayes flashed a grin, brushing off the caution. "Commander, I'm built for the long haul. The venom just added some spark to my step." Suddenly, the intercom crackled to life, filling the training bay with urgency. "Commander Rex, we've detected an unidentified ship at the outer edge of our patrol zone. It's fast and closing in." Rex tensed. "Prepare the defense grid." Hayes, report to Station B. Actually, scratch that. Get to the bridge. I want you nearby if we need to think outside the box, Rex added. On it, sir, Hayes replied, snatching up his gear and heading for the bridge with newfound energy, the venom amplifying his adrenaline and making him feel nearly invincible. As the bridge crew scrambled into position, Hayes joined Rex at the monitor, watching the alien vessel drawing closer. The silence was thick, tense. Rex glanced at him. Corporal, if this venom really is boosting your abilities, we might have an edge. Are you ready for a hands-on approach? Hayes grinned, cracking his knuckles. Commander, you know I live for this. Prepare to engage, Rex ordered. The bridge hummed with activity as the crew kept a close eye on the approaching craft, its dark silhouette looming ominously against the stars. Hayes felt the tension prickling in the air, fueling the adrenaline already coursing through him. Adjusting his gear, he readied himself for the unknown challenge ahead. As the Zoran ship drew closer, a menacing reminder of the galaxy's many dangers, the venom lingering in Hayes' veins fueled a fierce confidence. Corporal, I need you prepared for anything, Rex said, his gaze sharp on the monitor. They're coming in too fast to be friendly. Understood, Commander. I'll take on whatever they bring, Hayes replied, steadying himself even as his pulse quickened with anticipation. Status from tactical, Rex ordered. Shields at full capacity, weapons armed, came the reply from a technician. They're closing on our coordinates, targeting systems engaged. Stay sharp, Rex commanded, then turned to Hayes. Corporal, you're with me on the outer deck. Let's intercept them before they get near the core. Hayes nodded, falling into step with Rex as they moved to the outer deck, where the alien ship was visible. Its hull gleamed with a dark, metallic sheen, absorbing the surrounding light in an ominous display. What's the plan, Commander? Hayes asked, eyeing the alien ship's approach. Hold until they make contact. We need to see if they're armed before we respond, Rex replied. But if they come out swinging, Hayes trailed off, a grin spreading across his face. I'll take care of the heavy lifting. The tension was palpable as they waited, Suddenly, alarms blared, and the ship shuddered violently. The alien vessel had fired, a barrage of energy bolts slamming into their shields. "Brace yourselves," Rex shouted. Hayes clutched the railing, feeling the rumble through the deck as their shields absorbed the assault. On the monitors, damage reports flashed in red. "Shields at 60%, a crew member shouted. "Return fire," Rex commanded. "Deploy countermeasures and ready the boarding pods." "Roger that," the tactical officer replied, hands moving swiftly over the controls. Hayes felt a surge of energy, the venom amplifying his reflexes and heightening his focus. He was primed for this. The ship rocked again under the enemy fire, and Hayes steadied himself, the venom fueling his senses like a second heartbeat. "Launch boarding pods," Rex ordered. The hatch slid open, and Hayes leaped into the boarding pod. A squad of Zoran soldiers joined him, each armored and poised for battle. "Stay close and follow my lead," Hayes instructed as the pod hurtled toward the alien vessel. His pulse raced as they neared the enemy ship, its hull dark and foreboding. The pod docked with a solid thud, and the hatch blasted open. "Go!" Hayes shouted, charging into the enemy airlock with his blaster raised. The Zoran squad followed closely, their footsteps echoing through the dimly lit corridor. Inside, the alien ship was lined with strange, pulsating lights casting eerie shadows. Ahead, Hayes spotted movement, two armored aliens, weapons aimed at the entryway. They clearly hadn't expected uninvited guests. Hayes didn't hesitate. In one fluid motion, he aimed and fired, the venom's energy coursing through him, making every move feel sharper, faster. He was ready for whatever came next. "Cover me," Hayes shouted, ducking behind a console as the Zoran soldiers unleashed a storm of fire. Energy bolts blazed across the room, casting sharp shadows over the startled faces of the alien defenders. "Suppressing fire," called out one of the Zoran troops, firing a relentless barrage that forced the enemy to scatter for cover. "Hayes, flank them," Rex's command cut through the chaos. "On it!" Hayes launched himself into motion, the venom coursing through his veins, heightening his agility as he sprinted along the side. He dodged incoming shots, leaping over a low barrier and landing just behind one of the alien soldiers. Before it could react, he tackled it, wresting away its weapon and delivering a quick blow that left it out cold. He felt unstoppable, the energy surging through him like a relentless current. But another alien immediately charged at him with a fierce snarl. Hayes reacted without hesitation, sweeping its legs out from under it and pinning it with a firm boot to its throat. "Not so tough now, are you?" he taunted. He glanced around, seeing his Zoran squad advancing with precision. The battle was turning in their favor. "Push forward," Rex shouted, rallying the team. "We need to take control of the command center." Fueled by adrenaline, Hayes pressed forward, dodging, firing, and moving with an almost supernatural fluidity. The venom's effects heightened his instincts, giving him a lethal edge as he navigated the battlefield. Suddenly, a deafening explosion rocked the corridor, sending shards of debris flying. Hayes dove, rolling behind a pillar just as a blinding blast sent a wave of heat across his back. The air filled with frantic shouts, blaster fire, and the crackling hum of energy shields straining under pressure. "Corporal, status report," Rex's voice cut through the noise. "Still here," Hayes called back, emerging from his cover. Rex nodded, determination in his eyes. "Let's end this." As the fighting intensified, Hayes felt the venom surging, each movement charged with power and purpose. He pressed forward with a renewed resolve, feeling invincible. At Rex's signal, he sprinted toward the command center, the Zoran soldiers close behind. They burst through the command center doors, finding themselves in a sprawling room filled with panicked alien officers at blinking consoles. Rex didn't hesitate, taking down an enemy trying to escape. "Take control," he commanded, firing into the fray. Ducking behind a console, Hayes unleashed a steady stream of shots, weaving through the chaos with sharp focus. Every move felt instinctual, each strike hitting its mark with pinpoint precision. As he advanced, he closed in on an alien captain, their eyes locking in a fierce glare. In one swift motion, Hayes tackled the captain, wrestling the weapon from its grip and landing a solid punch that left it unconscious. "Area secure," he called out, catching his breath, exhilarated and victorious. Rex joined him, a rare smile breaking through his stern expression. "Well done, Corporal. You've shown that humans are more than adaptable, you're formidable." Hayes grinned, breathing heavily. "Guess I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Just don't expect me to go easy on the next alien that bites me." Rex chuckled, nodding. "Your unique biology could change the way we approach these battles. We'll need to study this." As the crew regrouped and secured the area, Hayes felt a surge of pride. He hadn't just survived. He'd thrived, the venom pushing him to new limits. For the first time, he realized he was part of something bigger, fighting not only for survival but for a purpose. And as the Zoran soldiers exchanged glances of newfound respect, it became clear they were beginning to understand that humanity's strength was more than resilience. It was an unyielding spirit, the determination to stand tall, adapt, and win. Hayes had proven that humans were more than adaptable. They were unstoppable. With laughter and camaraderie filling the room, Hayes turned to Rex. "So, about those rations," he said with a grin, his laughter echoing through the command center. In that moment, hope and humor mingled in the air, reminding everyone that, together, they could face any challenge ahead.